The TBR jar is back for another iteration of whatever season it is prompt jar picks my, said whatever season it is reads. This time around we have some more spring inspired prompts to accompany the more basic. Let's do 12 prompts again. Am I going to read those 12? Yes, because I am manifesting it now. But like 12 seems like a good number, as that also allows me to just pick up whatever book I randomly get inspired to read. It's all about balance. Y'all have seen the videos that everyone's doing now. I mean, it's fun, so like, I understand. Let's get right on into it. First prompt. A book with a cuddly little animal on the cover, because what's more spring than animals you just want to cuddle all day? The first book I'm seeing is Second First Impressions by Sally Thorne, with the turtle, tortoise, reptile. Not sure I would classify that as cuddly. I think this one's in the back, but obviously the book with the most cuddly of animals on the cover is Bunny. Like, this is what dreams are made of. Belle's like, please stop. But I don't think I'm in the mood for Bunny.
Hey!
It's giving fall. So what we could do instead is what you're looking for. She does this when she's being held. She's fine, I promise. What you're looking for is in this library by Michiko Ayama. There's a rabbit fur floating around. I got this novel fairly recently, but I kind of keep forgetting about it. This book basically revolves around this librarian who has this ability to know exactly what book her patrons like need at that exact moment in their life. The format, oh my god, there's pictures. I have no idea what this means, but that's so fun. Okay. But the format, it kind of reminds me of Before the Coffee Gets Cold, as each chapter is its own vignette that eventually all get tied together over the story. So I'm very excited to get to this. An author you own multiple unread books from. The author I definitely have the most unread books from is Ellen Hildebrand, but unless it's one of her wintertime books or the atmosphere isn't that important to the plot, such as Golden Girl, stunning book, I tend to gravitate towards her novels in the summertime, as they're all set on Nantucket and have that kind of summer beach town energy. I have a lot of thriller authors up here I own multiple unread books from. I have 2 Christina Laurens, if we were to count that as multiple, which I think I am going to, because I think it's finally time that I read Love in Other Words. This is like the Christina Lauren book everyone loves. You know, I just had to wait for all that hype to die down. If I'm going to be late to the party, I'm going to be late to the party. How old is this book? It was first published in 2018, but I feel like if I read this a few years ago, there would have been all this pressure that I would have put on myself for me to like it. And you see, if I reject something before it rejects me, that keeps me safe. But now if I don't love it, I have a whole bunch of other friends to lovers I could recommend instead. I believe this romance revolves around these 2 friends who spent their summers together growing up, bonding over their love of books, but now present day in adulthood, they have become strangers. Minus the falling out part, that is honestly the way to fall in love, over books. Where can I sign up? One of the 24 books you want to read in 2024. Okay, let me grab my reading journal. This is actually a good prompt, as I've only read 1 book out of the 24 I want to read, and we're like 2.5 months in to the year already. I really want to read all of these books. As of right now, probably the one that I'm most excited to read and have been meaning to read is The Good Sister by Sally Hepworth. I'm surprised that I haven't read this already, but I think I've just been putting it off because I've only heard amazing things about this thriller. And so I've been saving it for when I need something to, you know, restore my faith in reading, when the books aren't really hitting like they're supposed to. But I have a few Sally Hepworths on my cart, so I really need to get to reading her books. Basically in this novel, we have these twin sisters. One is currently struggling with infertility, so the other sister, like the good sister she is like, I have a womb. Of course I'll carry your baby for you, sis. That's the least I could do for you to repay you for everything you've done for me. But it looks like she may have jumped the gun on that one a bit, as in doing so, dark secrets of the past are revealed, shaking the foundation of her life. Messy family dynamics is my love language in thrillers. Super, super excited for this one. The first book on your Goodreads feed that one of you guys have just finished. Where are my spring prompts? This one's fun though. I need to get my phone. This also has to be a book that I already own, so let's see. Okay, this might take longer than I thought. Here we go. One True Loves. I have that, right? Yes, I do. Ashley Nicole gave 5 stars. Okay. To One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have not read a Taylor Jenkins Reid since Carrie Soto is back, right? No, maybe in another life, right? When did I read that? Sometime last year. It's been a while. Okay, yes. The premise of this book reminds me a lot of the Winter in Paradise trilogy by Ellen Hilderbrand. Basically, in this book, our protagonist's husband is in a helicopter accident, which is very tragic and life-altering. But eventually, years later, she moves on with her life and decides to try to find love again, which she does, and she gets engaged. Good for her. We love to see it. Until her husband, you know, the one in the helicopter accident? Well, psych, he's actually alive and has been trying to come home all these years. It's giving Lost. And so now our protagonist has to choose between this new love and her husband who has been gone. Legally, are they still married if he's dead? But he's not dead, so maybe they are? I don't know. Clearly, Ashley loved this, so I am expecting to love it too, because if you guys love a book, I will love a book. That's how this works. Yes. My immune system's failing me. I have like the immune system of steel. Oh my gosh. Maybe not. A book with fresh produce on the cover / in the title. I literally wrote this prompt and tacked on that last in the title part to widen the possibility of books I could choose from when I knew what book I would choose for this prompt if I got it. The Mindfuck series by S.T. Abbey. A romance between a serial killer and an FBI agent.
Okay, I found this on the web for a romance between a serial killer and an FBI agent. Check it out.
Okay, what did Siri say? I'm kind of curious. Literally, the first thing that popped up is 19 books like the Mindfuck series. Monsters can come in many forms.
Ooh.
Romance with a stabby twist. Slay. It's giving forbidden romance with a feminist, slightly questionable energy. But I think she only kills like bad people, if that makes it better. I'm not trying to get, you know, into ethics and morals today. This is the bind up of all 5 books in the series, which I definitely will be logging all individually. It's a bit sad right now. I open up Goodreads and the app tells me I'm behind schedule. Ever heard of a thing called Grace? This is that kind of book that is me. This perfectly embodies my taste. Dark and sweet. A Kindle read. Okay, I'm actually really excited about this one. I'm not a Kindle reader, but I have been like so tired at the end of the day. Like too tired to read. Holding up a book and physically reading a book sometimes just seems like a lot of effort. I either sound really lazy or just sad. That reminds me. There's just one time I was talking to my therapist and I was like, yeah, I think I'm lazy. And she was like, oh, let's unpack that. And obviously that is not the case. I just never think I'm doing enough and I have a hard time with sitting and doing nothing without a purpose. I'm working on it. What were we talking about again? Oh yeah, right. A Kindle read. Yeah, reading on the Kindle. It's a lot easier because you can just snuggle up under a blanket, you know, make a little blanket cave and just tap away. So I think I'm gonna pick up this book for those kinds of nights when, you know, the caffeine just ain't coursing through my veins anymore. Okay, I'll have to buy this book, but I want to read Veronica Ruse Breaks the Bank. This is the short story that takes place between the 3rd and 4th Finlay Donovan book. The 4th book did come out this month, so I want to read this one before I get my hands on that one. Any Finlay Donovan book is like a guaranteed comfort read for me, and El Cosmano knows that, and so she keeps cranking out these books, and I will happily go to Barnes and give her my money each time. Take it right out of my purse, actually, because I seek stability. And that's what these books are. They're an assured fun time. I know that you don't necessarily need to read the short story. Of course, I'm going to. That's a no-brainer. I just thought I'd mention that in case you didn't want to. I'll let you know how it goes. A book with Easter colors, so pastel colors, aka rom-com. I could go with The Stand-In, Secretly Yours, The Godparent Trap, Second First Impressions. I think I'm gonna do The Godparent Trap. Oh, hi, Belle.
Oh, hi, Mark.
She came over for a little head rub. Do you approve, Belle? She said, I want to get a little head rub. I want a little head rub. And now I'm talking for my rabbit. Insane much, Sarah? I love how rabbits, like, really like something. They'll, like, grind their teeth, and you can, like, feel it when you're petting their head. It's really cute. I gotta get back to the video. Not again. Not again. And rabbit fur on my book now. We're adding a little flavor, I see. This book is basically Life as We Know It, where these two people have become co-guardians of this child after it's, not me calling the child an it, after the child's parents are unfortunately in a tragic accident. And so now these two people have to learn how to navigate raising a child while dealing with this loss, while also falling in love at the same time, because of course they're going to. It's a rom-com. I've not picked up a proper rom-com in so long, like I'm talking since last year. You know, after that week of solely reading Christmas rom-coms, I just got a little burnt out on the genre. genre. But I think I'm ready for another one, and this one sounds really cute. I feel like Love in Other Words might actually be classified as a rom-com. It is by Christina Lauren, but I feel like it's more so a romance. Don't take my word, I could be wrong, I don't know. A new to me author. I just chose a new to me author. Okay, let's do another one, sure. Let's do a general fiction because those books I tend to need a push to pick up, and if it's on my TBR, I feel obligated to read it, even if I don't read it. Let's do Milk Fed by Marissa Broader for a little intellectual moment. I'm super interested in this book as it supposedly explores womanhood as our protagonist is struggling with her relationship to food, her sexuality, her mother. I've heard that this book gets kind of weird, but is also deeply insightful, so I'm intrigued. A cozy spring read. I don't know what I was trying to get with at that prompt. Something cozy in spring, I guess. Anything with flowers I feel like would be a safe bet. But do you know what I find cozy? A thriller, and this one has vines. So cozy spring. The Family Remains by Lisa Jewell. Did I have this in my last TBR jar video? Yeah. Will I actually get around to it this time? Maybe. You see, I like to read Lisa Jewell books when I know I can carve out a good chunk of time to sit with them and read them because I love to just get immersed in the world she creates. This book is the sequel to The Family Upstairs, which I loved. It's more of a slower paced thriller, but the story's gripping and written so beautifully. To give a one sentence synopsis, it's basically about this woman who inherits this creepy mansion on her birthday that has been vacant ever since many years ago. A baby was discovered there and the rest of the occupants dead. A lot of people seem to like this even more so than the initial book. I don't know, my expectations for this are kind of high. I don't want to go into this with like super high expectations, but Lisa Jewell is such a good author that I think she can live up to them. A book with greater than 410 pages because 410 is my birthday, which is in spring, and nothing is greater than my birthday. Way to make this about myself. It is my video, so. What book is thick? Let's turn these around. We need to see all our options. Okay, this prompts actually would be a good one for this book. This is 482 pages. I don't have a lot of faith in myself that I will actually read this spring, but I'm going to put it on my TBR in hopes that maybe I will. Vow of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. This book is the sequel to Dance of Thieves, which I read last spring, I believe. That book took me so long to finish. You see, I typically read a book within like a few days, which I know is not normal for everybody, but it is for me. So when a book takes me longer than at most a week, something's wrong. And it's not me, it's you. I'm confused as well because I did like the first book. That's why I bought the second. Dance of Thieves is basically about this ex-thief who is now a part of the Queen's Guard, and she is sent on this mission to this neighboring kingdom where she gets thrown together with the newly appointed king of that kingdom, and they're forced to suddenly spend a lot of time together. Forced proximity check, which makes their individual missions more difficult. It was a bit dragged out in my opinion, but it was still an interesting story. But it is a goal of mine in 2024 to read more books that intimidate me, so I just still have this. And this definitely fits the bill. We'll see if this happens. A book published in the spring. You're gonna make me work for it. I see how it's going to be. I think I'm gonna have to look these up online. Where's Goodreads? Trusty old Goodreads. The Spare Room, published in June. We need another thriller, so I'm just doing thrillers, okay. Good Bad Girl, August. How I'll Kill You, March 21st. Where's that book? Here we go. Another thriller revolving around siblings, but instead of twins, it's triplets. Everyone has a habit that is probably not the best for them. I can name a bunch. Neglecting sleep, downing espresso like water, trivial things really, in comparison to these girls who kill their boyfriends. They have a habit of killing their boyfriends, but when the additional twin accidentally falls in love with her mark, she has to choose between her family and what is expected of her, and love. Make him want you. Make him love you.
Make him dead.
Like, what do these women get out of killing their partners? Like, is there a reason? Or do they just share a genetic psychotic trait amongst them? I guess we'll find out. And the last prompt is the 10th book on the 4th shelf. Such a strange prompt. It's my birthday. Well, 410 would be my birthday, but the 4th book on the 10th shelf wouldn't really work. So this would technically be the 4th shelf if we were going left to right. So we're just gonna say that this shelf is the 4th because it is, even though technically it's not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 10. I don't want to read the other book right now, okay? Tomorrow, and tomorrow, and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. I believe this book revolves around these two people who meet in a hospital as kids and become friends over their love of gaming. And so I think this book just follows their friendship and the intricacies that come with that. To quote the blurb, yes, it is a love story, but it's not one you've read before. Well, I hope you're ready to put your money where your mouth is, Miss Zevin. I'm excited for the video game aspect in here. That's something you don't really come across much in literature. I can only speak on behalf of how I experienced this book as an avid simmer. Is that a gamer? I don't know. I feel like that's kind of up to debate, but I've heard that both gamers and non-gamers have loved this book, so I think I'll be fine on that aspect. I'm not too worried. I know my mom wants to read this as well, so I can lend this to her afterwards and then force her to talk about it with me, because that's the kind of daughter I am. Let's put these on the TBR shelf and then we can do a little quick recap of everything as well. You didn't see that. That didn't happen. On my spring TBR we have How I'll Kill You, Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, The Family Upstairs, the Mindfuck series, Vow of Thieves, Milk-Fed, The Godparent Trap, One True Loves, The Good Sister, Love in Other Words, and What You're Looking For Is in the Library. I'm definitely looking forward to having a more curated TBR. It makes picking my next read a lot easier. Having too many choices is a thing. What is it called? Choice overload? Anyways, let me know what's on your TBR for the spring down in the comments below. I want to know your reading plans. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. It really does help me my channel out a lot. You can also comment, interact, subscribe, all that fun YouTube stuff. I'd really appreciate it. I hope y'all are having a fantastic day, a fantastic start to the spring, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.